All right, we have our next problem. It's an application problem. So the rate of change of a company's total sales in millions of dollars per month after T months is given by this formula. After 6 months, the company earned $61.7933 million in sales. So find the function representing the company's total sales after T months. First thing we want to do is rewrite. I don't have to use U substitution on this one because I'm going term by term. So we're going to rewrite this as S of T equals 3/4 T to the negative 1/4. The negative is because I'm bringing it up top. And the 1/4 is because it's a T to the first power, but I'm taking a fourth root. So then I have 0.4 T to the negative 1/2. Same reasoning, I'm bringing it up top, and a square root is to the 1/2 plus 6. Okay, I'm going to rewrite this one to be ds dt, just a different notation. And then I'm going to multiply both sides by dt. So this times dt, and then this side times dt, means my dt's on the left will reduce. And I have ds equals 3/4 T to the negative 1/4 plus 0.4 T to the negative 1/2 plus 6 dt. That's a 1. Let's make it look like a 1. There we go. Okay, so now this is ready for me to integrate both sides. As soon as I got a ds over here, I can integrate both sides. So the integral of 1 ds is s. It's an uppercase S this time. And that's going to equal T to the negative 1/4. Negative 1/4 plus 4/4 is T to the 3/4 divided by 3/4 plus 0.4 T to the negative 1/2 plus 1 is T to the positive 1/2 over 1/2, and then plus 6t plus big C. So because we're given an initial condition, we're going to resolve this plus C. So the first thing I want to do at this stage is clean this up some. So 3/4 divided by 3/4 is gone. So I have S equals T to the 3/4 plus 0.4 divided by 1/2 is the same thing as 0.4 times 2. So I have 0.8 T to the 1/2 plus 6t plus C. So this is my answer. I just need to resolve the plus C. So I've got 617933 equals 6 to the 3/4 power plus 0.8, 6 times to the 1/2 power plus 6 times 6 plus big C. So when I throw that in my calculator, I get 6 raised to the 3/4 power plus 0.8 times 6 raised to the 1/2 power plus 36. That gives me 417932. $5042. And that looks like some strange language, so I'm making that a 41. Okay. And that equals 617933. Plus C. So I'm going to subtract this 41 some odd from both sides. So 61 79.33 minus this answer gives me 20. So I have 20 equals C. So instead of writing this as everything plus C, I can now write this as plus 20. Okay? All right, we have C prime of X. All right, so we have C prime of X equals 27 times the square root of 18x plus 64. All right, so a company that makes high-end toaster ovens has a marginal cost function given by this equation, where X is the number of toaster ovens produced. If the company has fixed costs of $1,812, so if I produce nothing, it's still going to have to cost me $1,812 to run the company. Okay? Find the cost of producing 100 toaster ovens. So that 100 toaster ovens is going to come into play as soon as I have figured out what the cost function is. This is the marginal cost function. I need the cost function. We will rewrite as dc dx equals 27 18x plus 64 to the 1/2 power. Hang on one second, my cat wants in. Okay, I'm back. All right, so what is my u? My u is whatever's on the inside. So I have 18x plus 64. Now I take the derivative of both sides. I solve for dx. So that gives me 1/18 du equals dx. Okay. Multiply both sides by dx. So I get dc equals 27 times 18x plus 64 to the 1/2 power dx. And I'm going to integrate both sides. What's the integral of dc? You're actually integrating the 1, so that becomes c of x equals 27 is going to stay because there's nothing about a 27 over here. 18x plus 64 is going to be u to the 1/2 power. And my dx is 1/18 du. Okay. So now I've got 27 over 18 is going to give me 3/2 u to the 1/2 du. And now it's ready to integrate. So what's the integral of u to the 1/2? The integral of u to the 1/2 is u to the 3/2 over 3/2 plus capital C. So this is gone, and this is gone. And now I have c of x. We're going to flip the paper. C of x equals 18x plus 64 to the 3/2 power plus c. So what was our initial condition? If we sub in a 0, we should get 1812. So that gives me 18 times 0 plus 64 to the 3/2 power plus c. So this term is gone. 64 to the 3/2 power is 512. And subtract 512 from both sides, and we get 1300. So this is my answer. So instead of a plus C, we're going to have a plus 1,300. Okay, but I want the cost, which this is my cost function, of producing 100 toaster ovens. So C of 100 is 18 times 100 plus 64 to the 3/2 power plus 1,300. So I get 18 times 100 plus 64. Raise that to the 3/2 power and add 1,300, and we get 81,776. .45956. And for our last one, we have P of D equals, so let me read this to you first. A manufacturer has determined that an employee with D days of production experience will be able to produce items at a rate of, and we've got 2.25 times E to the negative 0.15 D, 1 minus E to the negative 1.15 D squared. Okay, so first thing we need to figure out is what our U is. So U is whatever's on the inside. I can't do this term by term, so we're going to do this with U substitution. My U is 1 minus E to the negative 0.15 D. Take the derivative. Derivative of 1 is 0. And then I get negative negative E 0.15 D to the negative, I'm saying it all wrong, but I'm writing it correctly, negative E to the negative 0.15 D times the derivative of your exponent, and that's dd. So instead of dx, we're going to solve for dd. So I need to divide both sides by negative E and we're going to do it to that side as well. Okay. So what I have now is 1 over all of that mess times du equals dd. Okay, so I'm going to rewrite this part, and it's going to be dpdd equals 2.25. I'm not substituting anything yet. And I'm going to multiply both sides by dd. So it's going to reduce over here. That little hole is in my way. Okay. And now I can integrate both sides. So the integral of dp is going to be p of d equals, and now we need to use u substitution on this. So there's nothing about a 2.25 over here, so it's going to come along for the ride. 5. Okay, e to the negative, there's not a plain old e to the negative 0.15 d. and then I've got a u squared, and then dd is 1 over negative e to the negative 0.15d times negative 0.15 du. Okay, so this e and this e reduce, this negative and that negative go positive, so this is now positive, positive, and then 2.25 divided by 0.15 gives me 15. So I have 15 u squared du. So this and this I divided. Well, what's the integral of 15u squared? The integral of 15u squared is 15u to the third over 3 plus big C. Okay, that gives me 5u to the third plus C. And now we're going to flip the page. So P of D equals 5u to the third plus C. Well, what is my u? My u is 1 minus e to the negative 0.15d raised to the third power. Okay? So now what do? We're going to substitute in, it says, if an employee with no experience can produce 19 items, then how many items can an employee with 10 days of experience produce? So we've got to resolve this plus C first. So remember, this is my answer, all cleaned up and pretty. So my production is 19 equals 5 times 1 minus all that mess to the 0. So e to the 0, 1 minus e to the 0 is 0, because 1 minus anything to the 0 power is 1. 1 minus 1 is 0. 0 to the third is 0 times 5 is 0. So I get 19 equals C. So this turns into a 19. And now I can figure out an employee with 10 days of experience. How many can he produce each day? So I have P of D, which is 10 days. And all I did was sub in a 10. So when we put that in the calculator, we have 1 minus e to the negative 0.15 times 10. We're going to raise that to the third power. We're going to multiply it times 5. And we're going to add 19 to it. And we get 21,344, 3. 21,344, 3. And that is it for Module 9.